Whoa, no transition. Hi, welcome to Predicting Tranquility. I had to download a new package, so I guess some of the files are missing. I'll work on that. But welcome. Week two, we finally have some data on all the teams. So we're gonna be able to actually predict what teams are. We have like a little bit of info on everybody now. So that's exciting. So if you don't know what predicting tranquility is, we're going to be talking about every single match, all 41 of them, all 82 teams. Technically, there's a little bit less because of because of like teams that have dropped out and whatever. Some teams are getting buys. Is what it is. This week I'm joined by the same cast as last time. We got Troy and we got Ryan. How you doing, fellas?
Chilling. Came out of scrim. Now I'm here.
Pretty good for a Monday after coming back to work. Not great, but not
Back to
too bad.
school.
But yeah, here we are, and you know what? Let's just dive straight into the matches. Although before we do, um, since let me get my train of thought real quick. We have the predictions competition that I do every single week. On Saturday or Sunday, I send out the prediction form. You can go on and do your own predictions and compete with us, as well as everybody else in the community who is sending in their predictions. You get 3 points for a correct score, 1 point for a correct winner, and then 0 points if you don't get anything right. But this week we will have the first winners, the top five um, of the leaderboard right now. And then after the show tonight, per request of pretty much everybody, I'm going to be sending out these sheets so that you guys can keep up to date with how the leaderboard is looking and where we're at week to week. So that should be exciting. But without further ado, I think it's time. Let's get straight into Harmony Orem A. Take it away, Ryan.
All right, so diving into Harmony Orem A. First match of the week is Clairvoyance versus Basement Dweller. We're all on the side of Clairvoyance except for myself, thinking that Basement Dweller is going to take one map off of them. The next map we have Aimbots versus Ragnarok Freya. We have both Nerf and Choi going for Freya. Myself going on the side of Aimbots with a close 3-2. The last map we have Onigiri versus the Gatekeepers. We have Nerf going with a close 3-2 to Gatekeepers, and both Choi and myself going it way of Onigiri. I think it's kind of interesting out of all these kind of maps that, I mean, we were kind of close-sided. I think the only map would be the Aimbots Ragnarok Freya.
Mm-hmm.
What were you guys thinking about that one?
I honestly don't know for that one. For me, it's a 1-3 in either way. Uh, I really haven't watched too much of either Aimbots or Freya. I'm just going off scores and whatnot, and they seem pretty close, honestly. I know Freya won, that's why I'm giving it to them. But maybe like Aimbots just like played bad in that series, and they're gonna destroy Freya. Who knows?
I talked a little bit about this on Bronze Banter. We talked about the aimbots match quite in depth. And it just felt like they're lacking like that gel to get the team together. It doesn't feel like they're all on the same page, like they've been playing together for too long. And I think aimbots they were a very respected roster last season. They're coming in with a completely different core this season, and I trust that the org is able to reproduce similar results. However, I don't think we're going to get them right now. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. So that's kind of where I'm at on aimbots. And Freya, a big win last week. I think that Freya, honestly, they're one of my dark horses. I think that Freya are going to get slept on a lot for at least the beginning half of this stage.
And I'll be honest, I went the opposite way. I mean, I kind of went with Nerf. I said, Aimbots are good last season. I think they're going to be really good coming in, even with the new core. But Freya going against the Council, I'm not sure how to feel about them yet, was more with my decision.
Mm.
I wasn't sure if this 4-0 was a good thing for Freya or was a bad thing for Freya. I just didn't know how to feel it, so that's kind of why I thought Aimbots still had a little bit of an edge in my book.
Yeah, definitely fair. So I know some people out there are probably wondering, well, wait, aren't there four matches in each of the pools in Harmony and Discord? There are, but we're running off of old graphics. So we only have three for now. Unfortunately, that last match won't be getting a graphic, but we'll talk about the four missing matches at the end of the Harmony segment. So just stay tuned, and we'll get your prediction in a second. Any other thoughts on these matches in this
I just
pool?
want to say something for Onigiri.
Yep.
Husky is literally Jesus. So that guy is Jesus reincarnated in Harmony tier.
See, I said that on Bronze Banter again. I'm gonna keep plugging it as much as I can. Um, but on Bronze
Go
Banter,
on.
on Bronze Banter, I said that I wasn't very high on Onigiri, and ever since then I have been getting spam DM'd with like Husky leaderboard stuff, like, oh, Husky went 32-3 in my ranked game. Nerfed, how do you feel about them now? And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. But I think it'll be close. However, I'm a big fan of Gehenna this season. I think that their revamped roster is looking pretty strong. Um, so I gave them the edge there. But yeah, Husky definitely a great player, one to keep your eye on, I think. Um, let's go on though to Orem B. Choi, what do we have here?
All right, so in ORMB we got Exhilaration versus Doodles. Um, Me and Nerf are going for the for Doodles, and then Ryan going for Exhilaration in a close series. Then we got everyone going for Pew Pew. I gave Positive Aggressive a map. Then we got everyone going 3-1 for Luminous against Mafia.
So
Um,
yeah, you go,
Trying to
Ryan
think
or
like
Choi.
the the best match just by looking at scores has to be the first one, right?
Yeah,
The Doodles
that's
versus Exhilaration.
I was
I don't
kind
know
of
how.
curious what Ryan, what your thoughts like
Yeah.
what's going on there with Exhilaration? Because Doodles last time they played in Harmony, they were the champions. They're keeping the exact same roster and they're looking just as strong as ever. So I'm kind of wondering what your take was on them.
Okay, so I'm going on. So thinking about it, I really think Exhilaration is going to be a good team. That's kind of what I'm going off of. A couple of their players. I'm trying to pull up their roster sheet, and I can't remember how to get to it. But no, I remember looking at the roster. I said, that's going to be a great team. I think they're going to be one of the top teams. Doodles, they dropped a map, and if you actually looked back at it, it was a very close match between them and Chicago Mafia. It was closer than I expected. Uh, so I was kind of worried that okay, is Doodles going to be that top team again, or are they going to be taking a step back from the results from last year? So that's kind of what my thought process was going in. I think to me they still have a little bit to prove. Hopefully they prove me wrong this week, but that was my thought and feelings.
Yeah, I do think Doodles isn't as strong, so maybe I should have given them a map, but never prayed against Doodles. Like it just never works.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
will
I
never
will.
work.
I will
I will
never
keep.
again.
I would say I will keep running that curse, and I'll keep getting Doodles wrong. I'll take that role this year.
I mean, if we're being honest, like they've lost like what 3 matches since they joined Harmony tier. Like actually lost 3 matches. I think there were some forfeits along the way, but I think ever since season what was that, season 8, they've only ever lost 3 proper matches. So I think it's less of a gamble and more of just Doodles W, like 99% of the time. So I will always predict Doodles unless it's against Luminous, but we'll get there next week. Don't worry. But yeah. Um,
I do wanna highlight the Luminous Mafia game. Might be a good game. It could be.
um, yeah, I will be watching that one very closely. I think I'm casting tomorrow.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah. I'll be casting tomorrow, but definitely I'm gonna keep my eye on my squad. Um, hoping we can get a bounce back win. 'Cause it was rough last week against Paul's champ, but I
Yeah,
think we will stabilize.
that's what I wasn't sure is Paul's champ that good of a team, or did Loomis just have a bad week? I mean, every team has a bad week. Was that there's week one jitters or was it not? But I mean, we all kind of believe in him right now. It looks like.
Mix of both,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah. Um, Sending it over though to the Indigo side of things. For Indigo A, the first match we have is Fighting Potatoes versus Swordfish. All of us are giving the edge there to Swordfish 3-1. The next match is Insidious versus the Koala Kings. Me and Troy going for a 4-0 in favor of the Koala Kings, and Ryan giving Insidious a map. And the last map, I don't know why Mako's doesn't have a logo, but there they are. Um, I went with a 3-1 in favor of Chrysalis. Troy went 3-2 in Mako's favor, and Ryan going 4-0 in Mako's favor. So that's kind of the match I want to talk about a little bit. I'm a big Chrysalis fan. I liked their run in the preseason. They beat out a Geo team who I thought was very strong, and ever since that match has been looking very strong. And I think a lot of people would say that's a fluke, but I think that this Chrysalis roster is probably the just the best one we've seen since season 7 when they
Seven.
made that, yeah, when they made that semifinals run. So what are we thinking here? You guys both went for Makos, so kind of what's your thought process there?
I went for Makos just because what's it called? I just have like so Chrysalis have Jesus on Junkrat, and then like the rest of their team kind of fumbles.
Mm.
But I gave them 2 maps because if if I feel like Makos would be a team to get Junkratted, so maybe I should have gone for Chrysalis. But that character can just tear up some teams. So
Mm.
Yeah, I mine is honestly which from Scrimbuck land. I can say that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so mine's from Scrimbuck. So, Mr. Box is great, CDW, Red Mudkip, like all those players, great players. But I've seen them lately. I think they kind of like are fumbling the spaghetti a little bit. Um, I'd love to see them bounce back, but right now I want to see them prove something before I can start like believing that they're gonna have this great run like they did in the preseason.
I thought you were gonna say Mako's Scrimbucks, because that's something I want to know about. I don't know like anything about
yeah,
Mako still, because they didn't play last week, and I haven't seen them in scrims at all. So definitely looking
yeah,
forward to
no
their
clue.
debut. Yeah, is what it is though. We will find out and get back to you guys next week with actual information on the Makos. Moving back down to the Indigo B though, what do we have, Ryan?
Going Indigo B, we have Mets Gaming versus Strix. We're all on the side of Strix winning. Choi saying it's gonna be, oh, yeah, Choi saying it's gonna be close to 3-2. Me and Nerf saying 3-1. Going on to Eminence Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies. We're all on the Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies side. Myself, the giving 1 map to Eminence. Going into the last map, we have Ares versus Disclosant. We have both of you going on the side of Ares, and myself saying 2-3 Disclosant.
I could have guessed.
I mean, who would have known?
I think it'll actually be close. I can vibe with that score. Because I went back and
Yeah,
forth on it. So.
yeah, no, it's
So,
actually valid. So
Mhm.
so I'm the weirdest person with this, and I will say this. Love both teams, so I actually coached both teams. Um, so
Really?
yeah, so Aries I coached up until Trank season started. They're a great team. Honestly, both teams have very similar style rosters. The DPS lines are very similar in skill sets. Rage is coming out, kind of leading their team. Hawkfire is leading the team for Disclosant. I honestly think that map's going to come down to who's going to be able to be the better IGL out of those two. Who's going to be able to keep their team kind of going strong throughout it. But I think that's going to be like definitely the match to watch this week. That should be the closest match, I think.
yeah, I mean, I just have faith in Florida and Rage. Honestly, I know these names. I've known them for a while. Like
Yeah.
what's in season 7 or something. Like
Mhm.
they've been around for a while. I have some faith in them.
Yeah. I think these are also two teams that played much closer than anticipated matches. I didn't
Yeah.
know a whole ton on Ares, but I kind of gave Mets the edge just because of the Sky Guardians core. And Disclosed, I was a big fan of from their preseason run. They impressed me a lot, but I didn't expect that they would be able to take 2 maps off of the Jersey Boys, and like it was a very very close match, that one. Um,
Yeah, I think a lot of them went to almost like 99-99 basically. It
yeah.
was like as close as it could have been.
Yeah, it was very very close. I think big things to look out for from both of these teams, going into this week. Really quickly before we go on to Discord here, I'm just gonna run through the matches that we missed, like I said. So in the in the Harmony Orm A, we have Colorado Carbon versus the Council. I went with a 2-3. Troy went 4-0, and Ryan went 3-2. And oh, I should probably say what teams those are for, because you guys can't see. I went 2-3 in favor of the Council. Ryan went 4-0 or Ryan went 3-2 for Colorado Carbon, and then Troy went for a full 4-0 for the Colorado Carbon. In Orem B, we had Flashbacks versus PosChamp. Uh, I'm gonna need your take on this, Ryan, because I went with a 3-1 in favor of Flashbacks. I think PosChamp are good, and they'll take a map. Troy went with the 4-0 in favor of Flashbacks. However, Ryan, You decided to go for a 2-3 in favor of Pause Champ. So kind of what's going on there?
Hold on, there was a reason for this. Let me remember what my reasoning was. Trying to figure out flashbacks win against. Oh, that's what it was. If I look back to the records and everything, I believe the flashbacks, Pew Pew Plunders, that looked a lot closer than I expected
Hmm.
the match to go.
Okay.
I, going into, I don't remember what I predicted last week, but going into it, looking back at that map, I kind of expected flashbacks to kind of roll over Pew Pew, and it looked a lot closer than I expected. So I don't think that's another team that they have a really good roster, but I think they still need to step their game up to be one of the top teams myself. Just looking into it, I think they have potential to be one of the top three teams, but I still looking at Paul's champ, I also think they have a very strong roster, especially their run against Loomis Foxes last week, winning the clear for a victory. I think they have potential to also make at least that top five kind of team. And at this point, I think Paul Champ has a slight advantage over him.
Interesting. Okay.
For
Oh,
me, yeah, I'm pretty sure like the top three teams, you have KK, Flashbacks, and GP. These
yep.
three are just untouchable. You can't really, realistically, I don't think anyone below them should be able to beat them. I think they can beat each other, but no one below them can beat them.
Mhm. Yeah, I kind of want to see some of them play some of the other like top tier teams. Like I think this is one to what to look out for. But I do agree that it does feel like those three teams are on top of the world, and there's a large gap between them and fourth place. But we'll see. We'll have to see. Um, for the other two matches, Geometric will get a bye this week. And then Galactic Penguins played the Jersey Boys. Ryan and I went for, or not Ryan, Troy and I went for a 4-0 in favor of the Penguins, and Ryan went for 2-3 in favor of Jersey Boys. Just like quick rundown on that one because that's also one that I would say is
I
a little
think
bit unexpected.
I think I input that wrong. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
gotcha.
So, no, I believe that's supposed to be a 3-1 Galactic
Ah,
Penguins. Now
okay.
looking at it, I was like, oh, that doesn't look right.
We'll swap that up.
Yeah.
'Cause yeah, that was a hot take, I would say.
No, no, that,
That's a
that
crazy take.
that's a me making a mistake.
um, one last thing before we move on to the Discord tier. Yeah, he told me that I'm in charge of announcing the giveaway winner. And I asked if he wanted me to do it in the beginning or the end. He said do it whenever. So I'm gonna do it right now in the middle because it's the most uncomfortable time to do it probably. So the giveaway winner is Null.io. Congratulations, Null.io. I believe you should be getting a DM from Cavalier at some point in the near future regarding a t-shirt. So congratulations. Um, but yeah, moving officially up to the Discord tier. What do we have in Orem A Choi?
All right, so in Discord here we got everyone going for a Rem against the Tampa Bay Tryhards, and then everyone going for MI7 against was that Wildfire?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we got a couple diverse scores against the Pukin Dogs versus Space Created. They're going 3-1's Pukin. I went 2-3 for Space Created, and then Ryan going 3-1 for Space Created.
Tampa Bay Tryhards, I am so sorry for you. Your run so far has just been absolutely brutal. Uh,
MI7 into Ram. Wow.
that is terrible. I feel so bad. Um, I wish you nothing but the best of luck this week.
Yeah, I don't even think they're that bad, like really.
No, it's just they're running against the 1 and the 2 seed back to back. Like,
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah, but really the big game here is Pukin Dogs versus Space Created. These are
Hmm.
sister teams. And honestly, being sister teams, they're actually pretty similar too.
I
Like
think
just
so, yeah.
roster.
Hmm.
I this one could go back and forth to me. Like really, I think they're incredibly close teams. I'm pretty sure I flipped a coin. I think I went to Google flip a coin, and I put Space Created.
Interesting.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, I gave it over Space Grid just because I thought, looking at Pukin Dogs, that's the what last year it's basically SEAL Teams Spuds
Hmm.
It's
core.
a little bit of season 8 and 9 spuds, and then some others.
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. It's a really good roster, but I think Space Created or the brand. That's a brand new revamped roster, especially. Um, I think they may still have it a little bit, but I'm kind of with you, Troy. I think it can go either way.
Yeah, I want to shout out Ochre and Nova. Nova clutched up like 2 maps for them
Mm,
in their last game. Like Circuit, he was on Soldier. He sprinted back from spawn, barely got the touch with like half a second, and they won the fight and they won Circuit because of it. His last fight, and then
that's crazy.
Ochre, just incredibly consistent player,
Mm-hmm.
really good. And I've heard he calms like crazy.
Is that how you say that, Ochre?
I think it's
Yeah.
Ochre.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Ochre.
Couldn't tell you.
I'm like 85% sure it's Ochre because he coached Bernie at one point. Um, yeah, I think this is a very close match. I just went for I like the old Spuds core mashup. Um, and can never be a 4-0 if it's a Spuds roster. So, and technically they still carry on that curse. I believe it's well, didn't they 4-0 last week? Never mind.
That was
Um,
the forfeit.
oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
Okay then. So the 4-0 curse does still continue. But yeah. Any other thoughts on these 3 matches? I feel like 2 of them are pretty much
Oh
clear
wait, did you
cut.
say Pukin? What's it called?
Yeah, Pukin
Okay,
dogs.
no, they won 4-0. They won
Oh, they did
4-0.
win 4-0, a legit 4-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they won
So,
4-0, but they went against
there's no curse
Wildfire.
there.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they went against Wildfire, and I mean, it wasn't a clear win.
it was
I mean, they went
close.
2-1,
Very
2-1,
close
4-3,
4-0.
1-0.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So even
Especially
if they do
Circuit.
4-0,
Circuit was so close.
even if they do 4-0, then I guess it's still got to be close, just a little bit.
It's
Um,
got to keep it exciting.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think yeah, just throw some maps here and there. Yeah, just make the series interesting. How
yeah, they're a
boring would it
fire
be
team
if
to watch.
everything was a 4-0? um, moving over to the Orem B. Oh, actually, I wanted to do the top score of the week was MI7 versus Tampa Bay Tryhards. It got literally all of the possible points. Um, it literally everybody went for a 4-0 there who did predictions, and every single one of you was right. So congratulations. We seem to know MI7 pretty well, I guess. Gave out 75 total points that match. So, yeah.
Real.
But moving on over to the B side of things for Orem. We have Ragnarok Loki versus Royal Throne. I went with a 3-1 in favor of Royal Throne. Ryan going 2-3. And then Troy going the opposite direction, giving the series over to Loki. The next match is Trigonometric versus Jellyfish. I hated predicting this one, because it's the 2 teams that I'll be honest, 2 teams I'm most affiliated with, and I guess therefore like the most. Sorry everyone else. But Trigonometric versus Jellyfish. I went with a 2-3, in favor of Jellyfish. Ryan and Troy going 3-1 in favor of Trig. And then the last match is Paradise Lost versus Redacted. Um, Troy and I going for a 4-0 in favor of Paradise Lost, and I'm very sorry, Ryan. I don't see the 2-3 happening for Redacted.
Yeah.
Um,
Listen,
you get 20 seconds. Like sell us on your team.
I, we did great. That's all I got. No,
There you go.
no. I think we're I'll be honest, we're in a tough spot right now.
Hmm.
We're still working on stuff. We're picking up new DPS. It's a rough spot, but we're going into this hoping the best. And Paradise Lost, I would have said was going to be one of the top teams.
Yeah.
Looking in different leagues and watching their play, though, there is ways that they can lose.
Hmm.
So I don't think they're as untouchable as I used to think they were. Is what I'm going with.
Yeah, on Paradise Lost, I want to shout out Hawk. That guy is Jesus. And then they have Jesus, and then they have Allah on their team. Neo.
I will
So
say that Hawk is so good. Like
he's
honestly,
really good.
Hawk could be one of like the MVP like runners right now.
He's
He
one of the
is,
best DPS,
yeah, no doubt.
no doubt.
Take a
But I will
shot.
get to say this now, Nerf.
Mhm.
Now Jellyfish and Trig know who's your favorite.
It's
Whoa,
true.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Y-
whoa.
You had to pick a winner, and you picked with Jellyfish.
I picked a winner because I'm their manager. I'm not Trig's manager. I like them equally.
I,
I
I
like all teams in Harmony and Discord and Trance equally. I have no favorites except for the ones that I predict. Wait, Um, anyways, um, yeah, I think that's arguably the closest match.
Yeah. And it looks like we all don't know what to think about Loki and Royal Throne, because
It's
Royal
because
Throne's
Royal,
still a big unknown.
yeah, they didn't play, so I was just like, all
Mhm.
right. I saw Loki play; they looked all right. Give them the win.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's definitely fair. I'm excited for this week because we will have officially seen all of the teams play, so I will actually have data on the four is it teams that we didn't get to see. So that's
Yep.
exciting. Um, moving over to Indigo A, what do we have here, Ryan?
So we have Adrenaline versus Blobfish. We're all on the side of Adrenaline. Nerf myself going 3-1. Choice given the good old 4-0. Next we have the Battle of the Animals. We got the Wildcat Boys versus Drop Beat Bears. We have all of us on favor of Drop Beat Bears. We progressively get closer and closer with Nerf with the 4-0. Choi with the 3-1, and myself giving a close 3-2. And on last match, we have Maelstrom versus Avalon. Here we have Nerf myself going 3-1 for Avalon, and Choi going 3-2 to Maelstrom.
Yeah, let me defend myself on the Maelstrom pick. So I
Go
watched
ahead.
the Maelstrom versus Adrenaline game, and it was just like both teams just really wanted to play Brawl. Both teams are a great Brawl team. Whenever it kind of deviated from that, it got a little worse. But
Mm,
if Maelstrom just play Brawl against Avalon, it will like destroy them.
interesting.
Um, Avalon severely disappointed me when I watched that code. Um, they were just kind of everywhere, and they played weird comps. So I didn't like Avalon, and I liked Maelstrom. Therefore, you get the 3-2.
Interesting. I'm a spicy water simp myself, but I kind of think Avalon are pushing the limits of the top. I'd probably put them like definitely in the top 10. But I don't know where. I have not watched enough Discord here to do an accurate ranking. Um, so can somebody sell me on Adrenalines because I was not the biggest fan of them. However, I saw that they made it into the what's the like the circuit cup the
The
whatever the
OWC, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm in it, and I should know this.
the like the circuit cup between all the tournaments. I saw that Adrenalines were ranked like top 20. So I was kind of wondering what that was all about. If either of you two have takes on them.
Yeah, it's like OCAC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was for the other Adrenaline's roster, but
Oh, there's
they like
another
got in.
Adrenalines. Okay, my
It
bad.
was from the one in season 9, but then it like transferred to this one. So this
Oh,
one
okay.
would play in it, but
Mhm.
hmm
yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah,
Um,
and that's all voted on by
a bunch
different
of
viewers and
people.
yeah,
everything. So you got to take it with a grain of sand, kind
that's
of like
true.
some of the other votes we have. But
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah.
They could be a great team right now. I mean, they need to still prove it. They only went 3-2 against Maelstrom. So
Mhm.
are they a top team? Maybe. Maybe Maelstrom's a top team now still.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. I was just a little curious, because I did see some, I saw them and I saw some other Trank teams that I would have put above Adrenalines, but um, yeah, thank you for clarifying. Um,
Mm.
moving over to Indigo B, I believe this is Choi. Take it away.
All right, we got Indigo B. We have Phoenix versus Pride. All three of us going for Phoenix over Pride. Um, and then Spuds, bit of an unknown. We're all going like pretty random scores, I'd say. 3-1 Spuds for Nerfed, 2-3 for Error for me, and then 4-0 for Error for Ryan. And we got 2-3-1s, me and Nerfed going for Cosmic, and then a 2-3 for Tempest in that game for Ryan. Honestly, all three of these games could be
Yeah.
really good. I won't
Mhm.
lie. Especially the first one intrigues me the most. I was actually flipping back and forth between Pride and Tempest, or sorry, Pride and Phoenix.
I was
Um,
about to say the exact same thing. I think
yeah,
that was the hardest game out of every single one I did
literally,
to score.
it was really rough because I watched both VODs. Phoenix have a interesting player. We'll keep that for another time. Um, and then Spuds didn't play. Super hard to understand what that. I'm pretty sure they only
Yeah.
have 4 people on the roster sheet actually. Um, and then CC looked pretty good, so that one wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this pool is just very close altogether. I think
Yeah.
all of these teams are very close. I think Castaways are my favorite. I'm I'm a little bit disappointed in Tempest. I expected them to do better. But who knows? Maybe Phoenix are just gods. So we'll have to wait and see. Definitely way too early to count Tempest out of the pool.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
With that out of the way, then I'll go through the missing Discord tier matches. But really there's only one. Thunder Duckies, Culture, and Poseidon will all be getting buys. However, Concordia Wildwind versus UV Rays, all three of us giving that 3-1 in favor of Rays. Um, Two teams that I don't really know a whole ton about. However, I saw that Rays played a closer match last week than Wildwind. I don't remember who either team played, but I remember having reasoning for that match. So
So,
yeah.
Yeah, Rays win against Avalon, and Wildwind win
Ah,
against Dropbeat Bears. But Wildwind also, they actually were able to get a one on Kings Row and two on Circuit Royale. So maybe they are a better team, and Dropbeat Bears is, you know,
yeah,
something better. That or maybe Dropbeat Bears isn't as good as we thought as well. Could go
could be
either
it.
way.
Yeah, definitely could be it. Um, but yeah, let's move on to the trans tier with those forfeits out of the way. Um, so starting in Orem, I don't know why some of these logos are shrunk. I'm sorry about that. I'll get working on that for next week. But the first match we have is the Devil Dukes versus Nightmare Outlaws. Everybody giving it a 4-0 in favor of the Devil Dukes. Then the next match is Oath versus Guangzhou Gangsters. Again, all 4-0s in favor of the Gangsters. I believe those were the top two in the trans tier power rankings from earlier. So definitely not too surprising there. But this last match is very, very close. I went with a 3-2 in favor of Fleet Angels. I'm on the Copium still, and I'm gonna keep riding it until, well, they lost last week, but hopefully, hopefully this week, I don't have to sell my stocks. But Choi and Ryan going 2-3 in favor of Delta for this match. So
Yeah, I'm gonna do the opposite of you. I'm gonna keep betting against them until they actually win.
that's fair.
Also, I wanna shout out Reborn on the Guangzhou team. So only two of their 10 players are actually playing that game,
Uh,
Guangzhou. So that Oath could get a map or two, I think, or even win, honestly.
wait,
But I have faith in
Wait,
Reborn.
well, how is that possible?
I
are
don't know. It just is. Oh,
wait
3 players. Sorry.
3 of the entire 10 on their whole roster?
Yeah, it's funny.
What?
I'm okay. Um,
Uh,
we'll have to see that. I did not know that 7 of the Guangzhou gangsters won't be there.
Yeah, 5 of
Um,
them are playing
oh,
Joey for the
BPL.
BPL finals.
Gotcha.
mm,
Interesting. Well, good luck to the gangsters who are competing in BPL. Hopefully Reborn and the crew can hold down the fort, I guess. I think they'll be fine. I think they've got this. Um,
hopefully.
mhm. Sending it over to Azure. What are the matches here, Ryan?
So kicking it off, we have Amnesia versus Classified. We have both Nerf and Choi going the 4-0. Myself giving a close win to Classified, just over Amnesia. We have the Wyverns versus Just Better Inc. Have Nerf going with a 3-1 for Wyverns. Choi and myself giving it to Just Better Inc. Choi with a 3-2, myself with 3-1. And heading into Hammerhead Hades, we have Nerf with the 3-1. Myself, Choi giving the 4-0 to Hammerhead and myself thinking it's going to be a close match to Hades.
You have had a
Yeah.
rough
Out of
2.
I think the Hammerhead Hades is probably going to be the most interesting one out of this.
I
I
thought
think.
I thought the Wyverns game is way better. Like
You
Yeah,
that
think?
game is actually crazy. I won't lie.
those are two great teams.
Just better is like a super slept on team. I think right now.
Mhm.
And then Wyverns, they're pretty good. But I think
So
just better are actually really slept on, especially how they played in preseason.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say I know. So just better if you guys didn't know, Game Vito, who used to be in Redacted's the manager. So
Mhm.
I get all the inside scoop. A couple of the players were in our org too. So I think they are a lot better than people think. And I think people should throw, it's early, but throw stock, just like Choi was saying, into just better.
Yeah. But
Uh,
for me, I thought actually the Amnesia vs Classified and Hammerhead Hades were actually pretty easy. I was just Hammerhead and Amnesia I think are just way on top of this group. I won't lie. Like Kiddo is the best player in the world. Dax is the second best player in the world. Like
there you go. That'll do it. You've had a very rough 2 weeks, Ryan. You've had to like begrudgingly
Same
pick
as,
your teams just in close matches.
you
Um,
know, I can hope for the best going into this, but I think no matter what, I mean, people always went against my teams last time, but I
that's
mean, they
true.
always made a way somehow.
That's true.
And usually when people bet against me, things always went the way I went. So
You know, you never know. All it takes is for a top team to let their foot off the gas, and then classified. Maybe they could take that match. Who knows? But yeah. Uh, moving over to Indigo. The final pool. What do we have here, Troy? Oh, God
all right, so we got the Billings Boomers versus Revital. All of us going for Billings. Then we have Hive Mind versus let me check. I was looking at stream. Frost Nova. Okay, so this is the winnable game for Hive Mind. This is the most winnable. They need to win this game.
damn it.
I think. And then we everyone going for Hive Mind for that one, and then everyone going for Singularity, Overthrowing, or Bad in the last one. And I do think the second game is the most close, and then the third game is also pretty close. But I think the second game is really the most important in this group regarding standings at the end.
See, I don't want to like be overly biased towards one of my teams. However, I'm just saying we have not had our full roster, the Halophytes, yet. So, two losses so far, one in preseason, one in regular season. But I'm just saying, wait until we wait until we have our full starting five. Maybe it'll be a little bit more beneficial for us.
I had Train Rang last
Yeah, we
last
had
week.
we had Clem out in the preseason, and then Train out in the or Train in for Sticko in the first match against Singularity. So
Shout out Train.
shout out Train. But not gonna win you matches when you're down your. I think Sticko's the carry. I'll say it on stream. Sticko's the carry of this team. So.
I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I didn't know Capital was on Hive Mind either.
He's trying to
And
avoid it. He asked me to switch his account to Soul today. And I'm like, oh, you don't you don't want to be associated with us. I see how it is. I'm completely kidding. But with all those matches out of the way, we can officially get into the leaderboard. So for the week one scores, there was actually a tie in fifth place. So for fifth place, we have Fish and a Plum. For fourth place, me. Yay. Third place is Tyler from the Guangzhou Gangsters with 61 points. I didn't put a score. Hold on, give me 1 second while I check the score for Fish and a Plum. That was 58 for those two. Sorry I did not get that on the stream. In second place we have Sky from the Galactic Penguins with 62. And then in first place, Choi has actually taken the crown away from Capital this season. 65 points. You did great last week.
Rah,
You did great last
rah.
week, Choi. You were on top of it. You had like the most like correct scores out of like everybody. It was crazy. So
What can I say? I'm just that guy.
Choi knows his strength. Um
Yeah.
but yeah. So that is the leaderboard. You can join into the competition next week. I'll be keeping a tally of the overall scores as well as the weekly scores. So be sure to get your predictions in. I'll close them before the match tomorrow. The first match would start at 8:30, so I'll close predictions probably around 8ish. So make sure to get your predictions in before then. But that concludes everything related to my show. So for the rest of the week, what you have to look forward to, tomorrow at 9 CET, or 3. Wait, that's not right. I'm reading the wrong thing, because of course I am. On tomorrow at 9 EST, is the Harmony Tier feature of the Council versus Colorado Carbon. I'll be there casting. And then immediately after the feature, you have the debut of Silver Slander. Troy will be there. I know they're cooking up some crazy shit. It'll be exciting. It'll hopefully be a ton of fun. If you like Bronze Banter and you're interested in the Discord here, definitely go check them out. On Wednesday at 9 EST, we have the Transcendence tier feature of Amnesia versus Classified. And then on Thursday, we have the Discord feature of Redacted versus Paradise Lost. And then tune in next Saturday, where me and the rest of the Bronze Banter crew will be diving back into the Harmony tier, covering everything that happened this week. And then on Sunday, there's the unfortunately we missed it this week, but Tranquility, the late night show with Thuggington. Definitely go check that out. Unfortunately, we didn't have it this week, but it's a ton of fun. I loved watching it. The first week it was on. But that pretty much wraps up everything here. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back at the same time next week, probably with a different crew. Um, but yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you later.
Bye bye.